Is it time to reimagine your future? The right business skills may make a difference in your career. At Capella University, we offer a relevant education that's designed to focus on what you need to know in the business world. We'll teach professional skills to help you pursue your goals, like business management, strategic planning, and effective communication. And you can apply these skills right away. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. So just like you, he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of the Millennial Management Podcast. I am your host, Brandy, the Millennial Manager, and today is Wednesday inside of Patreon. I want to say, hey y'all, Patreon, and thank you so much for continuing to support this podcast. Today is a email episode, and I want to go through a few emails. They are varying in topics, but they are all good as fuck. Okay. Now, for everybody who is listening on Friday, I hope y'all are having a good ass day. Make sure you take your ass over to Patreon and you can join via the link on my Instagram if you want to get your episodes early. Okay. Because Patreon gets first dibs. They also get to listen to the episodes. So when they email me, it comes to my email. It says Patreon member and we check. And of course, this is a Patreon member. So they get first dibs on any questions that they ask. Now, today's episode, like I said, is going to be an email episode, and let's go into our first email. This one says, hey, Miss Brandy, hello. How are you? I hope you're having a good day. I work for blank because we don't release the names of the places that we work. You understand me? Thank you very much. Now, let's start back over. Hello, Miss Brandy. Hello. I work for blank. And we are restructuring, which means they are eliminating team lead positions. I've been a team lead since 2018. We were told we could apply for a supervisor position or apply somewhere else within the company or become an agent. I was dead set on not applying for a supervisor position, and here are the reasons. Number one, there are a total of 15 leads. The position will be open to the entire service desk. We are anticipating about 3 to 5 additional supervisor positions. I requested to be an agent, even though on the meeting we were told that that was an option because I did not apply for the supervisor position. Their attitude shifted. I recorded the restructuring meeting, and I have an email of the program manager's response. Can you give me some advice? Baby, what am I giving you advice on? They are restructuring, eliminating roles, and if you wanted to keep your job, you should have went with what was available. Period. I don't know. Okay? I don't know exactly. I see you said you can send me some more context or you can send me some information, but baby, even with more information, there's really nothing you can do. The last day is September 19th. You should apply to stay within the position. And if you're not selected to be an agent, then you're going to be out of a job. So I'm not sure exactly. You should have applied for the supervisor position if you wanted to have more than one opportunity to keep your job. So I feel like you should have applied. You should have. So I don't know why you did not. Other than these reasons, you've been there since 2018. I'm pretty sure you would have been the person or at least one of those people selected. So you kind of just you took yourself out of the running for no reason. So what is open to the entire service desk? So what? They only have 3 to 5 positions. It doesn't matter. You should have applied so you can stay within the organization. So you're going to be out of a job on the 19th is what I gather. All right, and on to our next email. This one says, good Sunday morning. Hello, it's now Wednesday, but I hope you're having a good day. I watched your post about being a 5-star employee while I was at blank, located in downtown Houston. After 21 years of stellar service, I was issued a separation agreement and basically told to get the fuck on. After being called a nigger by a fellow employee, after being sexually harassed by my gay IT director. Lord have mercy. I never once went to HR because I knew it would be a shit show. When HR found out, they invited me up time and time again to tell stories about what was happening. They ultimately dragged me through the mud and got rid of me. I was an employee that was bound by their ethics and compliance laws, but not them. They don't stand by those same laws and standards. It has now been 6 years. I've reached out to every what I now know corrupt official in the city of Houston where I was born to no avail. When I advised HR that my gay IT director was putting his hands on me, the response was blank. Is aware of him. This company is aware of him being openly gay. He should not be conducting business like that, but they did nothing. All parties involved are white and they are still employed. I am trying my best to not let the devil take over. Friend, this was 6 years ago. Okay? You could have contacted an attorney if you had documentation of the inappropriate touching, if you had documentation that shows hey, I went to HR and this person did this, or these, people did this, and this is still continuing. And I'm not just trying to victim blame. I don't ever want to do that. But 6 years is a long time to still be in this same place. Reading this, I would not have guessed that this happened 6 years ago. My suggestion, number one, is you can contact an attorney, but it's been a long time. Okay. I'm not sure if you have. You said that you reached out to city officials, but I don't know what an official would do in this situation. They would not really be able to do anything. Your best bet would have been to sit down and speak with an attorney. But 6 years is a long time, and that's also a long time for things to kind of get lost in translation. I don't know if the same HR director is still there. I don't know if they still have documentation of this situation. I don't know how you would even prove that this happened because it was so long ago, unless you have written evidence. You also have video evidence, and you said 6 years, so that's 2019. My baby. That's a long time ago. So sit down with an attorney and see whether or not you have a case. They may say hey girl, this happened a long time ago. I don't even know if the same HR director is still there. They may not even have any records of this situation. The records could have been destroyed. There may not be any proof of any of the things that you're saying. At this point, it'll be your words against this company. Or, if you want to sue the manager, you could do that. If you want to sue this person, the IT director, for sexual harassment, you could do that. But going after the organization, I feel like it's just going to cost you a lot of fucking money and a lot of time. And you're already struggling in the last 6 years to really find some type of closure from this. So I just feel like at this point, your best course of action would be to sue them, the person, for sexual harassment in the workplace. And if you have people that work there at that time that may be willing to, they're no longer employed there, they may be willing to speak on your behalf, but that may be your best course of action is to sue them, like the IT director, and not go after the company. I know while that seems like it's unfair because they should, pay too, at the end of the day, you have to be living in reality of what is and not what should be, because there are a lot of things that should be, but we also know that's not what it is. And we have to kind of deal with where we are so that we can get to where we want to be. So I hope that you find some closure, because this seems like a very traumatizing situation. And I'm going to make sure I put a disclaimer on this podcast because I did not know that this would be the topic. But I'm telling you, if you're dealing with any type of sexual assault within an organization and the company is not doing anything about it, if it's fresh, absolutely go after them. But after a while, you're going to have to narrow in the target. And the person that actually did it, the person who has created this trauma, that's the person that you would more than likely win against. And that's the IT director. I just feel like this person caused trauma, and go after them. The organization is just going to litigate you to fucking death. Like, you're not going to be able to afford to fight against them. But with a person head on, you could at least do that. So if I were you, I would do that. Reach out to an attorney and see what can be done from there for sexual harassment in the workplace. I hope that everything works out, because this is a little traumatizing, and like a lot, actually. And I hope that you seek a therapist. I don't know if you have or not, but when I started reading this, I thought that it happened last week. And that's how I can tell that it's still fresh on your heart. It is still bothering you. It's something that is still like a fresh wound. And so I really want you to seek a therapist and also seek legal support, because they may be able to have you win a case. And it could happen just from you suing the manager or the director. I just feel like going after the company is going to take you a lot of time, and it's not worth it. But this, you could get his ass for sure. Okay, on to our next question. This one is relatively short. Can I get FMLA for my 18-year-old daughter who is having a baby and I'm her sole financial provider? Yes, you can. You can get financial aid to take care of a family member. You just need to have their provider fill out that sheet. And then you take it to your HR department, and they should be able to grant you a little bit of time. Now, you're probably not going to get like 2 months for it, for her having the baby. And congratulations on your first grandchild. But you may be able to get, I don't know if this is your first one, but congratulations. But you may be able to get some time. So it may be about 2 to 3 weeks or so. If you have that time already for vacation, you can use it there. It doesn't necessarily have to be FMLA, but you can. And remember as well, like, you have to meet some criteria, and so does your organization. Number one, your organization needs to have at least 50 employees, okay? That's the minimum. They have to have at least 50 employees. You have to have worked at this organization for at least 1,250 hours over the last 12 consecutive months, okay? So those are the requirements that you have to meet in order for you to qualify for FMLA, even for it to be approved within your organization. Now, I will say, organizations who are smaller than that.
At Capella University, learning the right skills could make a difference. That's why our business programs teach you relevant skills you can take from the course room to the workplace. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
Absolutely approve FMLA. I know mine would 1,000%, but they're just not required to go through those, like through the forms and all this other stuff. They could just, decide to do it or not to do it if they're smaller than that. So, and they have to be full-time employees as well. So or full-time and part-time, I'm sorry. But I hope that everything works out for you. Make sure you meet the criteria. Having a baby is definitely one of those qualifying reasons, but make sure your company at least meets that criteria and that you have been at the company for that long in order for you to be given that time off so that you can support your daughter and your grandchild. Okay, this email says, "Greetings, Brandy. Hello, my girl." I love that you have created this page. Thank you. I appreciate it that it is helping. I appreciate that. It shows so much that you actually don't know that goes on in the workplace and how to handle it. I recently just got employed by the post office, and you literally work 6 days a week and you do not get to pick your off days. They pick them for you. And just like a brief second, I thought that you all rotate and you get like different days off. Somebody correct me if I'm incorrect, but I thought that you have a rotating schedule. But yes, you do not get to pick your days. It's a rotating schedule. So every couple weeks you get a full weekend. I'm accustomed for all these years of being off on at least Sunday, and I'm a single mom. My working hours are from 8 to 4:30. I recently just left the corrections department after working there for 10 years because my daughter is now a teenager, and I hate to be behind bars and she's outside alone communicating back and forth commuting back and forth to school, and she has no way of getting to me. Are there any hacks that you know of that I could at least be off on a Sunday where along the lines of a religious purpose? I've spoken to other coworkers at USPS and they are stating the most they do is give you time to pray, but they won't actually give you the day off. I think that's correct. Also, because you have just gotten this job, they do not really accommodate that much for religious reasons for you not to work. That's only at Chick-fil-A, and that's because the organization itself is a religious organization, just like Hobby Lobby is, and they, set aside Sunday as a day for not only their employees to rest, but they use that day to worship at their own respective churches. So I would say you are in a pickle deal. Okay, you already got some pretty good hours, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. That is not terrible. Sunday, your child don't go to school. Okay, your child could be with their grandma at the house. She's a teenager, so she could be at the house. But she can always reach you on the phone. You can get Ring cameras installed in your house. She's not a baby. You have to work, and there's really nothing you can do about it. And sometimes, unfortunately, that is the answer. I am not a single mother, but I do have single friends, and you have to do what the fuck you got to do because everybody is not available for your child to go over to their house, and some people's houses you don't want your kids at. So you have to do what you have to do. Right now, this is the shift that you were given. I don't know if when you move up inside the Postal Service, you can get more of a consistent schedule where you're off a set number of days, but if I were you, I would just keep focused on the fact that I actually work some really good hours, 8 a.m. to 4:30. That means you have all night to be with your child, all afternoon to be with your child. Y'all can go out to dinner. You can, do a lot of other things with a schedule like that. You're not working like a crazy ass schedule from 11 to 8 o'clock at night. That's actually a pretty decent schedule. It's just the fact that you have to work and you don't get to pick those days. So use the time that you have to be as present as possible. But don't get hung up on the fact that you have to work Sundays. My husband is in law enforcement and he works the rotating schedule. He gets every other weekend off. Is it sad? Yes. But we got to do what the fuck we got to do. Like I have to fill in those gaps because my husband is working 12, 13, 14-hour days. So I have the job where I have the flexibility, but that's the hand we were given, and we have to kind of deal with it. I think the 8 a.m. to 4:30 is your benefit. I would not raise any... What can I say? I would not raise any attention to this matter by taking it to higher ups because you just said you just got this job. and you knew when you accepted the job what the hours were going to be, what the days you were or the days that you were going to have to work. So you have to move with this. As a teenager, she's old enough to be home, and she'll be fine. Get you some Ring cameras, get whatever. If you want to just keep tabs or whatever, make sure the home is safe, do that. If you have friends, like I would babysit a lot for my friends because I have the flexibility to do so. So when they were out, working jobs that were not necessarily traditional, I would watch the kids. The kids would come over. I don't know if you have a network like that where you feel like, okay, my daughter can go over to my sister's house, or she can go and be with my parents. I don't know what your village looks like, but, utilize your village. I'm sure they would be okay for her to come over there. And 8 a.m. to 4:30, they have before and after school programs and in middle school still. The only school that does not offer before and after programs is high school, because they go to school early as hell. So depending on what time your child go to school, and they start middle school at I think they push back middle school in a lot of places. Even in Florida, middle school went to school late. So if she doesn't go to school until late, then see if there's a before and after school program. She could join a club. She could do whatever so that you can pick her up from school. Or she can go to after school. She can join a sport if you want to keep her active, where she's doing things while you're still at work. And then you just meet her at school and pick her up. Or pick her up after the game, or go to the school after the game. We had to do that too, because after school was something that we thought we would need, but then I was getting off work right at 4:30. So I would go to the kids' school, but we put them in sports. So they're in track after school, they're in soccer after school, or cheer after school. They were in some type of after school program that required them to be at the school until 4:30, until 5 o'clock, which meant supervision. So I'm not sure if that's something that you have at your disposal, but if you do, utilize that. Put her ass in after school programs. Get that Ring camera for your house, and you can always make sure that you are able to touch base with her. This is a little bit better than you working in a prison, because like you said, she can't call up there and get to you within a 2-minute, phone call. But she can call you while you riding around in that truck, because you got your AirPods in. You have a little more freedom and flexibility to speak with her, and to keep tabs and to see what's going on. So this is a little long-winded. I'm sorry, y'all, for that don't have children, but it is a concern. Like, you want to make sure that you're as present as possible, but you also want to make sure that you're making money, and you have to be able to do both of those things and still make sure she's a well-rounded individual. So utilize what you can. The fact that you have a good shift, the fact that she is a teenager, so that means that she can be in after school sports. She can go to a rec center. Like, they have so many things in different areas. I don't know exactly where you live, but you may want to look into some after school opportunities where she's able to go in a supervised setting and it doesn't disrupt the day at all. So think about what you have. You got good hours. Don't rock that fucking boat, because they could fuck around and make your hours terrible. Okay? So don't rock that boat. Take your ass to work. Try to move up so that you can get the schedule that you want, and be patient. That's it. That's all. That's my advice. Okay? Okay. All right. Well, I hope y'all had a good ass motherfucking day. I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. If you are looking to join Patreon, just go over to my Instagram so that you can get the episodes early. It's $6 a month to join. We are going to be having a live inside of Patreon. I believe this Friday is when I scheduled it for. So we'll be going live on Friday evening. We'll be doing the live, I think, or Saturday. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Friday, but we'll be going live on Saturday evening and live at about 8:45. Okay. Now, if y'all have any questions that you want to ask prior to the live, make sure you send them. And this is only for Patreon, because the questions are going to get read inside of Patreon. We're going live on Friday or Saturday night at 8:45. So if you have anything that you would like read, make sure you send it inside of Patreon, or you can send it to the podcast email. If you have something that you just want read on the podcast, send it to themailmanagementpod@gmail.com. And that's it. I hope y'all have a good ass day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Is it time to reimagine your future? The right business skills may make a difference in your career. At Capella University, we offer a relevant education that's designed to focus on what you need to know in the business world. We'll teach professional skills to help you pursue your goals, like business management, strategic planning, and effective communication. And you can apply these skills right away. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.